John. You are listening to Information Morning from CBC Moncton at 106.1 FM in Moncton in Southeast New Brunswick, 97.9 FM in Bathurst and Miramichi, and on the CBC radio app. My name is Jonna Brewer. Thanks so much for tuning us in. The news may come as a shock to parents when they're told their baby-to-be has Down syndrome, but my next guests say it is something to celebrate. Sandra Blatt also has a daughter with Down syndrome. Sandra is president of the Greater Moncton Down Syndrome Society. j&phenry has Down syndrome and is on the Society's board, and they are with me in the studio to talk about a special project called Love Letters Celebrating Down Syndrome. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning, Jonna. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming in. Hey, Jonathan.
Hi.
How's it going?
Who are you?
Good, thanks. So Sandra, I mentioned the shock that some parents may feel when they hear that news. How did you react when you found out that your daughter had?
Well, we were fortunate enough to have our entire pregnancy without that knowledge. So for us, some people like to know. For us, we were just loving that perfect time of growing that baby inside of us. And so it wasn't until after Carly was born that the midwife said, we were up in Ontario at the time, that the midwife said, we think she may have Down syndrome. So we're going to have to go to the hospital and check her out. So for the biggest sign was that her heart wasn't sounding like a typical heart. And in fact, Carly did have 2 holes in her heart. So it was a shock, and we thought, well, what does that mean? I mean, she looks perfect, and guess what? She is perfect. She just has that extra specialness, that extra really cool factor of having an extra chromosome.
And how old is she now?
She's 8 and a half, I guess.
Yeah. And a half. So tell us a little bit more about her.
Oh, Carly, she's a spitfire. She's a super intelligent, very bright girl. She's incredibly animated and social. She loves people. She loves, like Jonathan, loves swimming. She's a fish in the water. And she loves her older sisters and her young brother. And yeah, life is good. And she's in French immersion this year.
Oh, excellent.
Yes.
That's great. So Jonathan, how old are you?
I'm 34.
Okay. Tell us about what it's been like growing up with Down syndrome for you.
Well, growing up with Down syndrome is fun, and there's no misconception that I've been so well in my year. So
That maybe people thought you couldn't do things, right?
yeah, so I proved them wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And
Did you find it was different growing up with Down syndrome?
yeah, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And I did everything. So
Were you in regular school?
yeah, I was in regular school. Did some sports.
Yes, you do a lot of sports. And swimming is, I think, one of your favorite things, right?
Yeah, swimming and all the sports stuff. So everything is doing fine.
And you were at the World Championships
Yeah.
in Truro this summer, and what was that like?
Well, it's a big experience for me, meeting new friends over the world. Then I have been to lots of Special Olympics competitions, and
You've been around the world and
yeah,
for
and,
swimming
yeah,
and speed skating.
Yeah,
Is
and-
also
yeah.
involved.
Wow. So you're very good at it, and you seem to really enjoy it. And you do CrossFit?
yeah, I do CrossFit.
You can't slow them down,
No.
basically. Yeah.
And
Right?
you're working
Right.
too, right, Jonathan?
Yeah,
Yeah. Where do you work?
I work at Moncton Talent, Sobeys, and I work with the hockey team, which is like Moncton Wildcats.
Excellent.
And we're moving to a new downtown
At the
arena.
event center. Are you excited about that?
Yeah.
It's
He's
pretty
had all the
impressive.
inside tours.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah.
So Sandra, Jonathan mentioned, he said the word misconception. So what do you think are the biggest misconceptions around Down syndrome?
I think probably the biggest one is just people putting limitations on people who have Down syndrome. You know, back in the day, we put so many restrictions that we just didn't think that they could maybe even live with their own family. And I'm so pleased to see now that not only are people with Down syndrome thriving in school, in jobs, amongst their social peers. You know, there really isn't a limit. Everyone has special abilities within them, and we just need to find a way in which to bring those out and really encourage them and value them. You know, have a look at someone, take that extra moment and think, that person can be a real asset to my team, to my choir, to my company, and how can we work together to create that welcoming atmosphere to encourage that growth.
And that's kind of the spirit of this book and this project, right? So tell us more about this love letter.
So yes, the Greater Moncton Down Syndrome Society has decided to create this book as a compilation of love letters to celebrate Down syndrome. And so this is for new parents who might feel a bit apprehensive, who may not, you know, you look on the internet and there's all kinds of things that you can read, but we want to share the truth of everyday life living with someone who has Down syndrome or living with Down syndrome. What does that mean? And so we want to inspire, we want to encourage, we want to make people laugh, and for me, cry, because I'm a little bit sentimental, and every submission that we've had so far has just tugged at my heart. It's just been beautiful to see the rallying of excitement and sharing of these experiences.
I know it's probably hard off the top of your head, but can you give us an example of one of the submissions?
Well, one of them is a 9-year-old girl who lives locally, and her best friend, her sister has Down syndrome. And so this particular girl wrote a poem about her best friend's sister. And it is just beautiful. And of course, the fact that it's a child writing it, it just makes it even better, because you know that they're completely honest, and what they see is what they're saying. And the beauty and the excitement with which she talks about this girl is really fantastic. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people near, here in the community, and far. Listen, we're reaching out to people across the world to try and get this out there and to get submissions. So it could be an individual who has Down syndrome to tell us why it's so awesome and incredible to have Down syndrome, right? Why it gives them the edge in life. And we're looking for siblings, cousins, any relative, parents, grandparents, schoolmates, colleagues. We're looking for anyone out there, someone who's at your store and that you see every day, and why do they make you smile? Why do they make your day better? And it doesn't have to be, I think some people are a bit intimidated. You know, I'm not a novelist, I don't know what to write. Listen, sometimes we're just looking for a couple of lines. It doesn't have to be a huge letter, just a couple of lines saying why this person makes your day better, why you look forward to seeing them.
So how do people make submissions?
So we have a few ways. You can go on our Greater Moncton Down Syndrome Society website, so that's gmdss.ca. You can email us at info@gmdss.ca. You can do the old-fashioned way, which I think for some people might be better, and it's P.O. Box 29070 in Moncton, T3A5R8, and we would just so love any submissions that we could possibly get. So we can pass these out to new parents, put them in doctors' offices, libraries. We want to share it with everyone.
So Jonathan, what would your message be to people? What would you like to say to people to help them understand why this is something that should be celebrated?
So my message out there with all the people was to have fun. My dad told me that rule number 1 is to have fun. Rule number 2 is try your best. Go back to number 1, which is have fun.
That is great advice. So when do you hope this will be completed and ready to share with the world?
So the submission deadline is December 31st of this year, and then we're hoping to launch the book on March 21st, which is World Down Syndrome Day.
Nice.
So, right, so that way it will be all that more poignant, I think.
Okay. Well, thank you both so much for coming in. What a pleasure to speak with you, and best of luck in all your many endeavors. Can't keep up with you, Jonathan. You've got so much going. So we'll have to have you back. Thank you again. And we'll be posting this online, so all the information that you've given on how people can submit letters, that'll be online if they want to
Fantastic.
get in touch. Great, thanks again. That's Sandra Blatt. Also note she is president of the Greater Moncton Down Syndrome Society. Jonathan Henry is on the board. You are listening to Information Morning from CBC Moncton at 106.1 FM in Moncton and Southeast New Brunswick, and on the CBC radio app for iPhone and Android. Just download it for free from your app store and bookmark CBC Moncton. Vancouver band Mother Mother has just released a new single that was inspired by an unusual encounter. Lead singer Ryan Goldemont was vacationing in Costa Rica, lost in thought, when he realized someone was taking his photo. He struck up a conversation with the photographer who told him he looked for subjects who appeared lost in some way. They talked for some time, and the photographer gave him one piece of advice: get up and make something happen. Quite fitting for what Jonathan just shared, right? Here is Vancouver's Mother Mother with their new single, Get Up.